Hey everyone, welcome back to StackNet's Contract Programmer. In this video, we'll be diving into fundamental concept, that's functions. I'll walk you through everything from basic function definitions to using parameters and return values, all in real time. So, open up your editor and let's go together. Before we define our own functions, let's start with the most common function you will see in a Cairo program, and that's the main function. The main function basically is the entry point of many programs, and in Cairo it is defined using the function keyword, that's the fn keyword, followed by the main keyword, a set of parentheses, and curly brackets. So you place your program logic within the body of this function. So let's say we want our main function to print hello world. Make use of the print macro that will say hello world. Now that we've covered the main function, let's move to defining our own custom function. So let's define a simple function called another function. Function keyword, the name of your function, set of parentheses, and then you call the bracket. So let's say we want our custom function to print another function. So we'll specify print through, then we'll say another function. So we have a custom function. Now, to call this custom function, let's modify our main function to call this function, so we can have hello world printed in our terminal and another function printed in our terminal. So to do that, head over to our main function and specify, call the function another function, and with a semicolon. So we save this, head over to terminal to run our program. So scarp Cairo. So as expected, our main function printed hello world, and our custom function printed another function. So functions are even more useful when you add parameters. Parameters are like placeholders that you can pass values into when you call the function. So let's modify our custom function to take a parameter. So let's use our 252 data type. So let's say x, and I will specify the data type field 252. This is our parameter. So we want our function, our custom function, to print the passed-in value. So let's say the value of x is, don't input this. So when calling our function, our custom function in the main function, we need to pass in the parameter in here. So let's pass in 6. Save this and head over to terminal to run our program. Start Cairo. As expected, our function printed 6. So here, I'm passing in the value of 6, which would go straight in here. And then our output was printed here. And there you go. It worked as expected. So let's take a step further by adding multiple parameters to a function. So I'll create a new function that takes two parameters, one a value and the other a unit label. So let's say function print labeled measurement. So our function is going to take two parameters. So set value. We'll specify a unit 128. If you're not familiar with data types, I would advise you head over to the playlist and watch data types in Cairo. I made a previous video on it. Then we'll specify a unit label, say unit label. We can use a byte array, a string type. So what do we want our new function to do? We want our new function to print value and unit label. So we can use the print macro, print the measurement is this. So we can have value and units label. So let's save this, head over to our terminal, run our program. Oh, if you notice, this did not print. Why? Because we did not call our function, a custom function, inside our main function. So to do that, we call our print labeled measurement here. We pass in our parameter. So let's pass in 10. We're passing in a unit 128 and a byte array. See, hi. Save this, head over to our terminal, and then call our function again. So our hello world ran from our main function. The value of x is 6 ran from our second function, our second custom function. And the last function we wrote also printed our measurement. So Cairo also allows you to use named parameters, making your function calls more readable. So let's see how that works. Let's say we have a function foo. Function foo. So we can name our parameters this way. So let's say I have a function foo. So let's say that x to be a u8, then y to be a u8 as well. So in our main function, to call this, we can simply say, let x equals 1, let y equals 2. Then we can call our function foo, say x, comma, y. Basically, this is for code readability. Now save this. So let's print something in our foo function. Say print macro. This is the full data. So we can do this. So do this. Say x comma y. Save this. Head over to our terminal. Then run the function again. Oh, there's an error. If you want to specify a comma here, save this up. Go back. Then let's run this. There's an error again, because we failed to end our function call with a semicolon. Let's run this again. So here we go. Our function works. Our full function works. Our print measurement function works. One other function works, and our main function works. So we need to talk about two concepts, that's statements and expressions. Statements versus expressions. So this distinction is quite important, and the major difference between statements and expression when it comes to functions is that statements perform actions, but they don't return values, while expression, they evaluate value and then they return it. So let's say, for example, we have a statement. So I will say, let's do this. Say, let my name equals Sparknet contract program. Of course, we have to specify this to be proprietary. 5. If you do not understand data type, go back to our previous videos where I talked about data types in Cairo. So this is a statement. It's not returning any value. Let me show you an example of expressions. Expressions are bound to have return values. So let's say let y, let's say w, let w equals, or perhaps let my expression equals to let a equals 3, and let's return a plus 1. So this is going to return 4. And in this example, this expression is going to evaluate to 4. This expression over here is going to evaluate to 4, and the value of 4 will be assigned to this variable, my expression. Now, if you notice something, I did not add a semicolon over here to end this, because if I had a semicolon here, then it would turn into a statement, and the value of this will not get anything. So let's run this code. Scrap Cairo. Our code compiled successfully, although we did not return anything. So let's print the value of my expression, just for clarity. print my expression value is my expression. So let's save this, head over to our terminal, and then run our code. As you can see, my expression value is 4. To reiterate, if I had ended this statement, this line here with a semicolon, then it wouldn't return a value. Then it's going to turn into a statement. So this is an expression, this is a statement. And remember, expressions return values, statements do not. And finally, let's look at functions with return values. So the return value of a function is simply the value of the final expression in the function body. So let's say, for example, we want to write a function that returns a number. So functions with return values. Values. So let's say I have a function that returns 5. So function 5. Define it, then we define any regular function. But we want this function to return 5 to us. How do we do this? We first need to specify our arrow over here. So we are expecting it to return 5, and 5 is of data type joint. So let's say joint 32. It is of type joint 32. So we need to specify the type that is being returned. And in our function body, we specify what we want it to return. So let's say we want it to return 5. And if you notice over here as well, I did not end this with a semicolon. So because I'm expecting it to return this value. So if I'm expecting a return value, I don't need to end it with a semicolon. And to call this function as well, we need to head over to our main function to call it in there. So just beneath our previous function, so we can say, let my 5 value equals, so we call the function 5. So this function is expected to return something to us, unit 32, and the unit 32 is of value 5. So when we call this function, we're expecting that 5 will be saved in here, and then will be returned to us. So let's print the value of my 5 value. So print my 5 value is my 5 value. So let's save this and head over to our terminal. So let's run this. Arrow run, enter. As you can see, my 5 value is printed. So the function returns the value 5, and notice the arrow and the unit 32 after the function name, which indicates that this function returns a unit 32 value. So that's it. Simple and effective. So that's all for this tutorial on functions in Cairo. So far we covered function definitions, parameters, return values, and the distinction between statements and expressions. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. So stay tuned for more videos on Cairo programming tutorials that would enable us to build on StackNet. Thanks for coding along with me. I'll see you in the next video.